Rocco.
Hi, Rocco. We're on and we're going to be streaming in a minute, okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Good evening, everyone. I hereby announce that pursuant to Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in the notice which was sent to the Asbury Park Press, to Two River Times, and posted on the bulletin board in Township Hall, and filed in the Township Clerk's office on January 5th, 2022. Mayor Bontempo?
Here.
Mr. Santana?
Here.
Mr. Impreviduto?
Here.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Here.
Ms. Weber?
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Everyone, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence to honor our troops both home and abroad who work tirelessly to protect us each and every day, and also for the 15 people that were killed this afternoon at a horrific shooting down in Texas. Thank you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Holmdel Township Committee meeting, May 24, 2022. I have two special proclamations that I wanted to start out with this meeting with. First one, for those of you who don't know, it's a very special year for Bayshore Medical Center. It's their 50-year anniversary. So I wanted to point out, because I don't think that everyone in the community knows about some of the significant accomplishments that Bayshore has been able to fulfill in the last few years. Bayshore Medical Center recently received an A rating from Leapfrog Hospital Safety Grade for spring of 2022. This is a national recognition based on over 30 national performance measurements reflecting errors, accidents, injuries, and infections, as well as systems hospitals have in place to prevent harm. In last July, we did the grand opening for the Dr. Richard H. Harris Emergency Department. The new center has 35 patient bays, space for pediatric care, new imaging equipment, nearby so patients don't have to be transported to other part of the hospital. I found out personally last week when I was there with my wife. This will further shorten wait times, increase efficiencies who need care. The previous emergency center was built to handle 12,000 patients a year. The new center is projected to handle over 55,000 patients per year. Also, Bayshore has incorporated the use of the Da Vinci robotic surgery system. The system is designed to perform minimally invasive surgeries on a variety of diseases and conditions. Technology uses cameras and tools that are inserted into the patient through small incisions. The surgeon then operates from a nearby console. The Da Vinci system is like a human wrist, but offers better range of motion and utilizes high-definition cameras. Also, the Bayshore nursing staff received awards from, won the Daisy Award and the Magnet Pathway to Excellence New Knowledge Innovation Award. So the first proclamation is for the hospital that we'd like to recognize. Proclamation from the Holmdel Township Committee. Whereas in 1963, the people of the Bayshore area identified the need for an acute care hospital and acquired 17 acres of land in Holmdel Township for that purpose. Whereas Bayshore Hospital opened in 1972, containing 158 acute care beds, with construction being completed on time and under budget. And whereas the hospital underwent significant expansion between 1977 and 1984, including addition of a new emergency room, the hospital's north wing, a surgical respiratory intensive care unit, and medical surgical bed, bringing the hospital's total bed count to 218. And whereas over the years, Bayshore Medical Center opened additional units and facilities, including an adult care center, a long-term care ventilator unit, a subacute care unit, assisted living facility, a sleep center, and a bariatric program. And whereas over the course of the early 2000s, Bayshore Medical Center received accreditation in oncology and joint care and was designated as a primary stroke center. And whereas in 2010, Bayshore Community Hospital joined the Meridian Health family, and later, when Meridian Health merged with Hackensack University Medical Center, Bayshore Medical Center became part of the Hackensack Meridian Health System. And whereas the Bayshore opened the state-of-the-art Dr. Robert H. Harris Emergency Care Center in July of 2021, and whereas the Bayshore Medical Center is celebrating its 50th year serving the Holmdel, Bayshore, and Greater Monmouth County community, now, therefore, be it resolved, on behalf of the Holmdel Township Committee, I, Gregory Bontempo, Mayor of the Township of Holmdel, do hereby proclaim and congratulations be offered to Bayshore Medical Center on the occasion of the 50th anniversary. Sincere gratitude be offered to Bayshore staff and leadership providing decades of quality medical care to the Holmdel and Bayshore area, proclaimed the 24th of May, 2022. So, congratulations from the hospital. Since we have everybody here, I'll do the second proclamation, and we'll come up with it as a group, if that's okay, and present both proclamations. Second one is a proclamation from the Holmdel Township Committee for the nurses. Whereas nurses make up the cornerstone of the medical care at hospitals, nursing homes, and medical offices, and whereas nurses are striving to meet the challenges of an ever-evolving healthcare system while continuing to provide safe, dependable, conscientious care for all, and whereas providing high-quality nursing care reaffirms our belief in the essential dignity of every person, regardless of age, health, or social status, in every stage of human life deserves to be treated with the utmost respect and care. And whereas a nurse in both the professional and private citizen makes important contributions to the overall life of the community and is closely identified with it, and whereas professional nurses advance the well-being, health, and lifespan of all by serving all the front lines, providing critical safety net for the nation's most fragile patients. And whereas nurses leave their families to care for others, or risking their own lives to save their neighbors, and in doing so have risen to the call to serve those in most need of medical care, and we are grateful for their selfless sacrifice. Whereas Bayshore Medical Center's nursing team in particular plays a pivotal role in caring for the Holmdel community. Now, therefore, on behalf of the Holmdel Township Committee, I, Gregory Bontempo, Mayor of the Township of Holmdel, do hereby proclaim and we formally recognize the nursing staff of Bayshore Medical Center on the occasion of National Nurses Week, and that sincere gratitude be offered to the Bayshore Nurse Department providing quality medical care to the residents. I also want to say that I know the Township Committee was very involved during the entire pandemic with your community hospital. I know we did, in some of the call-outs we did, we were trying to recruit volunteers to come in, help you guys out. We did, with the emergency services, we did a clap-out, which was an amazing response, and I can't thank you and all your peers enough for everything you've done for the Holmdel community, because I think it's because of you that the community fared so well during this very challenging two-year period. So with that, if you guys come up, I'd like to present the proclamations.
Can I say something, Mayor?
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to also mention to the public, I know the hospital had an initiative in the last couple weeks ago, which was sponsor a nurse. And my wife and I did sponsor a nurse, and it was a wonderful program. I couldn't make the ceremony, 1 o'clock in the middle of the day. Come on, Frank. I mean, people work. But it's a wonderful thing, and I encourage anyone from the public, the community of Holmdel, to, I think at any time you can go on the website, right, and sponsor a nurse, and I would encourage all residents to do that, if they can. Thank you.
In honor of the nurses, I'm leaving my mask. My mom was a nurse, so thank you.
Can you get everybody? Scooch in,
Yes, thank you. Can you switch in a little more? Perfect.
Yeah, this is working with the township, with you during construction, everything was really a great experience. And we wouldn't be here today without the town, first aid, and everything else that goes on. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Take care.
So next is the approval of the minutes. I have April 12th, executive and public, April 26th, executive and public, May 10th, public. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Improvisato? Yes. Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
Thank you. The minutes have been successfully approved.
So before I roll into public comment for consent agenda, Council, do you have any updates for the consent agenda?
Sure, Mayor. I'll just mention, and we could just move the consent agenda with these changes. We're going to be adding 2 resolutions. The first resolution is going to be numbered 165. That's approving a contract with the Police Benevolent Association. Resolution 166 is a resolution regarding the Holmdel Fields performance bond. So we'll move both those items when it comes to the consent agenda.
And we're deleting one.
And you don't.
And I apologize, we're going to be pulling 158, so it'll be 147 through 166, excluding 158. Thanks, Bill.
Any public comment on agenda items? Yes.
Good evening. Bill Castning, 4 Mount Drive. That's an address from 100 years ago. 4 Tocaloosa Drive.
He moved.
Yeah, I moved. My comment is regarding the ordinance up for adoption tonight regarding the medical zoning change.
We're going to have a hearing on that. This is only for consent
Okay,
agenda.
so then I can comment
Yep,
later.
yep, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Anything on the consent? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Do I have a motion?
Move. Second.
So this is for,
This is, Mayor, this is 147 to 166, excluding 158.
roll call, please.
Feedback is coming. Mr.
I
Improvisato?
think it's,
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo?
yes.
Okay. With a note. Thank you, Kathy. So 147 through 156, excluding 158, have been successfully passed.
160, correct, yep. Next is introduction of ordinance, Wendy.
Introduction of ordinance 2022-17, which is an ordinance for adoption of the floodplain management regulations of Holmdel Township. The motion would be to adopt on first reading and publish in the Asbury Park Press and set the public hearing for June 14, 2022.
Have a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Improvisato? Yes. Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
2022-17 will be set for public hearing.
I don't know. Not here. It's not maybe you.
Okay, the next ordinance is 2022-18, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 7, Traffic, Part 3, Regulation for the Movement and the Parking of Traffic on Municipal Property and Board of Education Property of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Holmdel, Monmouth County, New Jersey. The motion to is adopt on first reading and publish in the Asbury Park Press and set the public
Did I
hearing.
lose everybody? I don't hear you.
We're here. We can hear you.
For
Oh, okay,
June,
thanks.
for June 14, 2022.
Move.
Second.
I'll just note for the record, the ordinance didn't make the agenda, but we do have it, and it'll be available in the clerk's office tomorrow. This is simply at the request of the Recreation Department and in consultation with the Police Department. It's adopting some traffic regulations for Bayonet Farms.
Much needed.
Mike, can I ask you a question? Why does it say Board of Ed on it, though? Where does that come into play?
It's in a section of the ordinances where basically it's like traffic regulations on either town or Board of Ed property. Yeah, that's why I wanted to clarify, because the title is not very clear.
Roll call.
Did we do the motion?
Yes.
We did? Okay.
Kathy Prakash.
Mr. Improvisato? Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
yes,
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
Okay, 2022-18 will be set for public hearing. The next ordinance for introduction is 2022-19, which is an ordinance enacting soil/fill importation regulations. The motion is to adopt on first reading, publish in the Asbury Park Press, and set the public hearing for June 14th, 2022.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Improvisato? Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
yes,
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
Okay, 2022-19 will be set for public hearing. The next ordinance is 2022-20, which is a bond ordinance authorizing various intersection improvements in and for the Township of Holmdel in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey, appropriating $483,000 thereof for authorizing the issuance of $458,850 in bonds or notes to finance the cost thereof. The motion to is adopt on first reading and publish in the Asbury Park Press and set the public hearing for June 14th, 2022.
Move.
second,
Roll call.
Oh, one note, Mayor.
sorry.
There was an amendment to the tail end of the ordinance. Some language on the indemnification clause. So I just want to make sure that we adopt it with that amendment.
Yeah, it's in the bottom. You got it hold on the bottom. That's it.
so you're getting my feedback.
The motion?
Hold it, Rocco's got a.
motion to call Rocco back.
We need to call him.
Phone a friend.
Can you do redial on there?
Oh, yeah,
I'm back.
yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
Go ahead. Kat, go ahead.
Okay, so the motion for 2022-20 is, Mr. Improvisato?
With the updated version.
The updated.
Mr. Improvisato?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes,
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
Okay. The next ordinance for introduction is 2022-21, which is an ordinance establishing Chapter 3-16 titled Armed Security Officers. Motion is to adopt on first reading, publish in the Asbury Park Press, and set the public hearing for June 14th, 2022.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Improvisato?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
yes,
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
Okay, 2022 21 will be set for public hearing. The next ordinance for introduction is 2022-22, which is an ordinance amending Section 2-26.1 governing police department positions. Motion is to adopt on first reading, publish in the Asbury Park Press, and set the public hearing for June 14th, 2022.
Move.
second,
No, it's fine. Roll call, please.
Mr. Improvisato?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
yes,
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
Okay, 2022-22 will be set for public hearing for June 14th, 2022.
Next is hearings on ordinances, Wendy.
Hearing on ordinance 2022-15, which is an ordinance amending and supplementing Article 5 zoning section 30-139.5 M Medical District Conditional Uses and section 30-155.2E Conditional Uses Standards for Approval of Chapter 30 Development Regulations of the Code of the Township of Holmdel.
So public hearing on, yes, sir. What's your address?
For something or other, for Takalusa Drug, Bill Castning. So, it's a great ordinance, and it was before the planning board for verification that it's consistent with
Consistency.
the master plan.
Yep.
But there's no mention of that in the whereases. Is that by design, or should it be added?
I don't think it could be added because it was introduced prior to the master plan consistency review taking place.
Okay, so that would be normal then, anytime something goes,
Correct. It wouldn't come back here unless that review was completed.
okay. Doesn't make sense, but I understand. Thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else on this ordinance, 2022-15? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Is there any?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Improvisato?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
2022-15 has been successfully adopted. The next hearing is for ordinance 2022-16, which is an ordinance approving technical revision to ordinance 2022-13, amending section 10-1.3 relating to uniform construction code fees.
Move.
A public hearing.
Oh, sorry.
Anybody from the public on 2022-16? Seeing none, I'll close public portion. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Improvisato?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
Okay, 2022-16 has been successfully adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. We'll get department updates, administrator, and then CFO.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Just a reminder, the sewer bills were sent out last week. There was a change in the past. The sewer bills were sent out quarterly. This year, we're sending out one bill with 4 stubs. One of the complaints is that the people said they won't remember. Remember, if you sign up, you go to holmdeltownship.com, you can sign up for alerts. The alerts are to remind you to pay your taxes and remind you to pay your sewer. You'll get an email before it's due, so you remember to pay it. The pilot payment system for online was offline, and as of yesterday, they fixed the software, and it's back online, so now you can pay your pilot payments online again. The state has announced a firefighter grant for money's going to be used for equipment and other products to help the fire department. Each department can apply for up to $75,000, and we are applying for a grant.
Is it matching, Bill?
Does not say matching.
No.
Again, increase in cost, as everybody's being impacted by inflation, especially, we're getting hit. The price of the fuel has been astronomical. It was double from last year. We anticipated a 50% increase when we did the budget this year, and it's actually probably going to be double. There's some other let up in other prices. Delivery of certain materials that are being delivered, the delivery costs are up by 40%. Also, like for example, the cost of chlorine at the pool last year was $1,225. It's up 29% this year. So it's $1,575, and this is done once a week. So we're definitely getting hit by the cost increases. Also, the U.S. DOT has a Safe Streets for All program. That's a $1 billion available for this year throughout the nation, and we're going to probably try to apply for some of that money, and that's to get 0 deaths and injuries on some of the nation's roads. So it's trying for safety purposes on roads that are an issue.
Thank you. Counselor, any updates?
Sure, Mayor. One issue that's been of public concern in my past attorney's reports over the past few years is the litigation that the town's been involved in with New Jersey Natural Gas regarding their application to locate a regulator station along Holmdel Road in the South Holmdel area. This past week, the Office of Administrative Law judge issued his initial decision. It was against the township and would find for New Jersey Natural Gas's petition to have the regulator station located in Holmdel. So I do want to share with the public that initial decision did come out. That said, it's an initial decision. It's not a final decision. And the way things work is that the initial decision is now submitted to the Board of Public Utilities. And before the Board of Public Utilities, both sides get to file what are called exceptions. So there is more litigation here before a final decision is issued. And while I can't get into any specifics, the township does have special counsel handling this matter, and obviously the township will be defending its position before the Board of Public Utilities as this case moves over to their domain. So obviously I'm limited in what I could say publicly, but I'm happy to answer any questions the committee may have.
So from the township committee perspective right now, we're going to pursue every possible legal action that we can to prevent this regulator station from occurring in town. It could be a long, drawn-out process. We're trying to be as financially frugal as possible, but also preventing this regulator, which I think has been going on for 4 years now.
I mean, this might date back to 2018, I would say.
Yeah.
It's been going on for quite some time.
Yeah. So first round, not in our favor, but I believe with the attorney we have that we still have a very good argument to prevent this from ever being built in Holmdel. We'll continue to pursue every possible measure that we can. Anything else from
That's all I have. Thanks.
engineer?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things. Happy to say that the final surface course paving and striping of the parking lots at the Holmdel Firehouse is complete. They came out great.
Yep.
We are advancing the design for the Tabs Bikeway route, the first phase of that. And while we're doing that, we're also looking to secure funding for Phase 2, which is coming up. Couple other things that are just kind of still, we're waiting on outside agency reviews, improvements to Takalusa Drive. We've submitted plans to the DOT, who's funding that project, and we expect comments from them to be able to go out to bid on that project soon. And same with the Holmdel Road crosswalk upgrades on Holmdel Road and on Newman Springs Road. That is under review by the county. Had some correspondence with them earlier today, and they should be getting us some feedback very, very shortly, probably this week, and we hope to move that forward as well.
Thank you. Updates from boards and committees. Committeeman Lucarelli, start with you.
Thank you, Mayor. Just so everyone knows, this week is National Public Works Week. So this week is recognized nationally as the 62nd Annual Public Works Week. And I want to offer my heartfelt gratitude to the dozens of hardworking DPW employees who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our townships. Did you say Rocco? No. Oh, yeah. Transportation, water supply, and drainage systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential to our citizens. A thank you for the often unseen work that keeps Holmdel running smoothly. And another note is this Saturday, May 28th, is another large item drop-off at Bellworks parking lot, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please enter through the American Way Middletown Road entrance. Thank you.
Thank you. Committeeman Improvedito, any updates?
I have nothing this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Committeeman Weber, any updates from you?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I have several. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to everyone involved in our bike rodeo Friday night, despite torrential near tornado downpours. With the cooperation of Bellworks, we were able to move it into the tunnel, which was kind of cool just to be there, led by Officer Minoski and our police cadets and Easy Ride. They provided 2 instructors, our recreation department and our TABS, Traffic and Bike Safety Committee. The children that were there to participate, it was amazing to see them improve both their safety skills and their bike riding skills right before your eyes in the course of the training. So thank you for that. And also a thank you to all the community members that turned out to work on cleaning up and restoring the cemeteries. We worked on 3 cemeteries Saturday morning. A headstone for a patriot was brought courtesy of the Daughters of American Revolution, who applied for it for the Skank Covenhoven Cemetery. And then we did extensive work on the African American Slave Cemetery, which actually extends further back than I thought. And there's a lot more graves there than I was initially aware of. Many of them are marked by what's called a field stone marker, so it's not an engraved headstone, it's a stone, but you know it's not just a rock because they're in a line. And it was a lot of work done cleaning that up. And then also the 3rd cemetery there is the Catholic cemetery for which my understanding is houses Irish indentured servants who were laid to rest there. So it's all kind of three aspects of that period of history. And an area, there was also a volunteer from the Boy Scouts, the police department, a really good effort. And I'm looking forward to continuing to maintain and improve that area, because I think it's a phenomenal opportunity to teach the history of our community to our residents, many of whom are not even aware of this. These cemeteries are between Canyon Woods Road, that's where you access them, there's public access, and Grandview. And this is one of the most significant historic sites, I think, in Holmdel, because it really tells the whole story. So I'm hoping we can do some more there. On a lighter note, the swim club opens this weekend. Wish it would have been open last weekend. It will open Saturday 10 to 8, Sunday 10 to 8, and Monday 10 to 6. We've already exceeded last year's membership, so demand is strong. There's still some opportunities to join. And if you want to come check it out, you can come up this weekend and just get a tour and see if you're interested in joining. Big thank you to all the staff who've been getting it ready and ready to rock and roll. There's still registration open for summer camp on all weeks, and we're accepting applications for camp counselors ages 15 and up, and key age group counselors in training, 13 and 14-year-olds. A lot of people don't know what to do with their kids at that age. This is a great opportunity for them. Summer soccer clinic registration is open, and the daughter campout is back and is going to be scheduled for Friday, June 10th at Bayonet Farm with all the fun and festivities, and registration will open next week for that. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Deputy Mayor Santana, any updates from you?
I forgot something. I apologize. This past Saturday, I attended the Jersey Shore Chinese School at SAT School. They had they have a class that they've been teaching Taiwanese and different traits to students, and they had their award ceremony, and I attended that, and it was very entertaining. Yeah, so I forgot about that. Sorry.
Thank you, Mayor. First, the Finance Committee update. I see the chair of our Finance Committee, Dr. Gilstein, in the crowd. So I'm going to ask if he wants to make a statement regarding our Finance Committee meeting.
You want to do it in public comment?
Okay, we can do it in the public comment period. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we can wait until then. Yeah, the second one is the public safety update. Let me read through this. The first one is for the Holmdel Fire Department. They held a recruiting event at the Holmdel High School. They had an application from a student. They also have a new member applying to become a Holmdel firefighter, a certified firefighter, who's now applying to be part of Holmdel Fire Company number 2. Then the Holmdel Fire Department, the new firehouse will be fully operational starting tomorrow. They've finished all the paving and other things related to the firehouse, and it's ready to go as of tomorrow evening, Wednesday evening. Some more updates on the first aid squad. The first aid squad would like you to know that they've already answered 600 calls for 2022 so far. That equates to approximately 4 calls per day. The first aid squad is looking for new members to help out. Current members range from the age of 18 through 65 and come from a variety of professions and backgrounds. All training is provided by the squad at no extra cost. And for more information, you can visit holmdelfirstaid.org or email chief@holmdelfirstaid.org. The first aid squad also has a cadet program and is currently accepting applications for new members. They're holding an info session tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. at the Crawford's Corner Road building. 16 and 17-year-old township residents are encouraged to attend if they have any interest in joining the first aid squad. Historically, the cadet program has about 30 high schoolers, and a majority of them become EMTs, and that's very important for the longevity of the squad. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to again thank the Bayshore Hospital nurses for coming out this evening. We are very fortunate to have them as part of our community, and really like the partnership that we have, as the president mentioned on his way out, between the town and the hospital. First is the this Monday is Memorial Day ceremony right here at Town Hall. It'll be at 10:30 a.m. and be right in front of Memorial Circle in front of Town Hall. Please join us. It'll be rain or shine, as we do every year at holding our ceremony. We sent out a news flash probably about 3 days ago regarding the Laurel Avenue has reopened to vehicular traffic in both directions as of this past Sunday. As you recall, this emergency repair project was a result of an accident that happened in March of 2022 involving a cement truck which crashed into the railroad bridge and actually damaged the one of the two railroad tracks above it and was unusable until they were able to fix it. During that time, our drivers were redirected via detour through Middletown. The Monmouth County Engineering Department is coordinating with New Jersey Transit on a 3-phase electric signage project aimed at preventing future collisions at this location, while also reducing road closures and traffic delays on Laurel Avenue. The Alexander Ching Dog Park 1-year anniversary, so that was held this past Saturday. So myself, Deputy Mayor Santana, and actually Chief Alaco were actually at the park. We had the opportunity to join the Ching family in celebrating the 1-year anniversary of Alex's Paw Park. It was extremely well attended, even though it was scorching heat. A lot of people were out there. As many of you may remember, this project was completed in record time and is now one of Holmdel's most popular recreation destinations. During my remarks at the park's groundbreaking last year, I said that my goal was that this project would not only honor Alex's memory, but also provide a way for a local community to grow even stronger in the years to come. I think we've accomplished that goal. The Alexander Ching Dog Park is a meeting spot, a central hub where Holmdel residents can come to make new connections and build new friendships. The Veterans Initiative, we've been focusing on that and advertising that in the newsletter. Reminder, we are calling all Holmdel veterans of any age to sign up for the Holmdel Veterans Initiative notifications. We put out a call at the last meeting. We already have over 24 veterans registered to give their input on the veteran services for programs and events. Veterans can visit the Holmdel website at holmdeltownship.com/veterans to find out more information and to register to receive notifications about services and events. And we're expecting our first meeting to be coming up in the next several weeks. Traffic at Bayonet Farm. An ordinance was introduced this evening to allow the police to control traffic laws in Bayonet Farm. Partially because the success of the dog park is we need this ordinance. The goal is hopefully reduce instances of speeding in the park, ensure safety for all our patrons, because we do have people that are walking around at any given time, especially a lot of children. Holmdel Reusable Tote Bag Contest. A reminder to the residents that the Holmdel Township Committee is sponsoring a reusable tote bag design contest. Students in grades K through 12 are invited to submit designs for reusable shopping bags that will be printed by the township and distributed to our residents. 2 winning designs will be chosen. The winners will be announced at the June 14th Township Committee meeting. For more information about the design contest, please visit holmdeltownship.com/reusable bags. That is all the updates I have. Community Member, do you have anything? Yeah? Do you hear? Okay, thank you. So we will open up for any public comment. Any public comment for this evening? Yes. Thank you, Kate. Have a good night, Kate.
Barbara Singer, 5 Deerfield Road. I have a question. Mrs. Santana, you mentioned the first aid pays the cost for training. Does our fire department do the same thing, or township committee cover costs for training of new members?
The first aid, I'm sorry,
said does.
The fire department covers
Right, I'm
the
asking about
cost.
fire. You said
Yeah,
first aid does.
They both do, yes.
They both do,
yes.
Okay, that's good. And then just a couple questions on the ordinance you passed tonight, 2022-15. I was wondering what was the purpose behind the changes? And also I had a question under section E, number 6. It says access shall be from other than Bethany or Holmdel Road. I'm wondering what that was about, why those 2 roads are pointed out. Those are my 2 questions
Okay.
on that ordinance.
And we'll get you the answer in 30 seconds. The person that just left the room is my person for that.
Oh, no.
Could
Want me to
get-
go talk to her in
could
the
you-
parking
could you
lot?
grab? Is she's not there? Hang on, we're getting her back. We're getting her back.
So-
You got her on the phone.
Go crazy. We can ask her another time.
She's laughing, she's coming back.
She knew it was too good to be true.
While we're waiting, can I just make a comment?
Sure, sure, sure.
I'd like to make a comment about the Alex Ching Dog Park. I specifically want to commend Lisa Ching, she's very dedicated in maintaining the park, and it's such a tough job. So I really want to commend Lisa Ching for her dedication.
You just want to summarize, Barbara, if you mind, the questions?
Are you finished?
I'm done.
You're
Thank you.
done. Okay, so back to me.
Yes.
On the ordinance that was passed tonight, 2022-15.
Yes.
So I just wanted to find out what was the purpose behind making all of the changes. And then under section E6, there was specific reference to Bethany Road and Holmdel Road. I wanted to know why those roads were mentioned, and does that restriction for them leave any lots not developable for assisted living?
Sure, so happy to answer that. So just to start with your first question, is that some of these, most of this ordinance and that one in particular are already codified in the existing ordinance. So we just carried it over because we didn't see any need to change the prohibition against access from Bethany Road or Holmdel Road. Because the idea is that, we don't, that if it's from Holmdel Road, it could have an impact on neighboring communities. If it's from Bethany Road, there could be traffic issues. So the idea has always been that access should generally be from a road other than those, which is essentially North Beers. And then just overall, the purpose of these changes was really to essentially modernize the ordinance and bring it into better compliance with the rest of the medical zone, which has changed over time, and also how assisted living is treated elsewhere in the township. So the changes that we made, we got rid of the term, the use was previously residential healthcare facility, which is something that's not defined in our ordinance. It's not really defined by the state of the Department of Health even. So we looked at that, and so instead the idea is that assisted living would be alone by itself, as was permitted, or in combination with a congregate care senior residence, which is a term that is defined in our ordinance already that's been in place before this. And then the rest of the changes, we, some of the setback, the buffer from residential remained the same, the buffer setback from residential zones, the density remained the same. It was really just to ensure that if a modern assisted living type facility could be developed in the medical zone, as has historically been the intention.
Thank you, Kate.
Okay,
You're welcome.
thank you.
Yes.
Anybody else in the public?
I'm moving in. No, I was kidding.
Zach Gilstein, 11 Chardonnay Drive.
You're coming up for the Finance Committee?
Actually, first I was going to say something about the Charter Study
Okay,
Commission.
okay.
And I'll come back later and talk about finance.
Okay.
If you'll let me speak.
Sure,
again.
sure.
Okay. So I'm one of the commissioners on the Charter Study Commission, which the citizens of Holmdel had voted to move forward last November. And I just wanted to report out to the committee and to the public who may be watching that we did finish our work and file our report. The charge to the committee, to the commission, was to identify whether an alternate form of government could strengthen and make our government more clearly responsive to the citizens. After doing our analysis of our current form, alternative forms, we did come to a recommendation that we should move to a council manager form of government. This is one of the modern forms of government that's identified by the New Jersey Faulkner Act. This form preserves our current structure. We will continue to have 5 people on our council. The mayor would be part of the council with no special powers other than to reside over the council, and no veto power or anything of that nature. So it's very much as we have today, but this form of government will enable us to have really 3 significant improvements. First of all, we'll be able to elect the mayor directly. And so we did recommend that we have the mayor directly elected. It enables initiative and referendum where people from the town, if they have something important, they can gather signatures and get it on the ballot. Many times I've been here at meetings where people have said, well, everybody wants this, why aren't we doing this? Now they would have a means to go out, get their signatures, put it on the ballot, and then if everybody wants it, it'll get voted in, we'll move forward with it. Or if the council does something they don't like, they can have a referendum and choose to deny it. The last thing is that it enables us to have nonpartisan elections, which I think can bring more unity to the town, as we heard from several people we interviewed. And it also eliminates the undue influence that we have from party bosses outside of Holmdel, who often choose who should be on our committee. I don't think that's healthy for the town. So I think that these recommendations, and if we move forward with them, could greatly improve our township. There will be a special election because it's not just what we say. There'll be a special election on July 26th where all citizens in Holmdel can decide whether they want to move forward with these recommendations or not. So personally, I hope that everybody moves forward, and I think this only makes us stronger and makes us more responsive to the people. So I'm encouraging the public to move forward with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in the public? Seeing none, I'll close public.
I'm gonna make my second.
Actually, we all went in one. You guys have any time left for 3 minutes?
Finance Committee update.
He wants to finance.
No?
Can you do it, Prakash?
You want to do the finance committee update? Because it's one.
One person.
One.
Well,
Seconds left? Okay.
Any time left?
I reset it, you have like maybe 10 seconds.
Okay, okay.
So Prakash do it.
Prakash will cover it.
Well, you can just speak for 10 seconds.
I'll speak for 10 seconds. Biggest thing, there's $735,000 in the open space fund, which is still identified as for future use. We would like to see that there's a plan for how we're going to spend that money, or we're going to save it to purchase something. But something should be said, I think, to the public about what the intent is for the money when we've put up an extra $484,000 with the extra penny tax that we approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the public? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move.
second.
All in favor?